Hello and welcome to another Pop Culture Reacts, and this time another from the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So we are doing half man, half biscuit.
Yes. And unfortunately, we've had to go off piste again, haven't we? Because we could not only could we not find a video for the song that was recommended, but we couldn't find any half man, half biscuit videos, other than ones that people had knocked up themselves, which I'm sure are lovely. So instead, we've jumped into the world of a live performance, haven't we?
Yes, from the Whistle Test in 1986.
In 1986, we're going way back in the way back machine here. Half man, half biscuit. What say you of half man, half biscuit?
I know the name, but that's about it. I probably have heard them, but not knowingly.
So I think the first album's 85, and they're still recording to start. I think one come out this year, which I haven't got yet, which I should rectify in the near future. I'm a really big fan. They're a Merseyside band. I think Birkenhead. I think they are. I describe them as kind of a funny, clever, satirical UK punky band, but a certain area of punk. Don't be expecting kind of the hard punk. I'm a huge fan. I come across them weirdly enough when I used to work shifts. One night, one of the lads I worked with chucked on an album in the middle of a night shift, and there was such a thing as night shift euphoria of everything sounded good in the middle of the night. But I really took to them, and then started to go back through the back catalogue, and ever since then, they hold my heart. They hold a very dear place in my heart. My particular favourite being Joy Division Oven Gloves. It's one of the greatest songs I've ever heard.
So who was it that brought the half man, half biscuit to the table?
Well, you would have thought that with a spreadsheet, I'd have pre-prepared all that, which I hadn't, but it was Rory. And I presume, is it Rory from Wrestling 20 Years Ago?
It is Rory from Wrestling 20 Years Ago.
Excellent podcaster, excellent talking about wrestling, and from his one push forward so far, bloody marvellous taste in music as well, as far as I'm concerned.
So, shall we get ready to go to Trumpton and kick off?
Oh, yeah, actually, did we say we're doing Trumpton Riots? For any international watchers, Trumpton being a joyous show from many years ago, a kids show, and Riots being what English people like to do when they're not happy.
So let's go kick off in Trumpton.
Let's go.
Here is the clock, the Trumpton clock, telling the time steadily, sensibly, never too quickly, never too slowly, telling the time for Trumpton.
Rising basically in the town, and it's spreading like pneumonia, does it look like going down? There's trouble at the fire station, someone's at the sack, and the lads are gonna launch a scheme to get rid of Captain Flack. Tell PC McGarry to get himself a mate, and on themselves with CS gas, they're gonna be out late. We've had camp conformism since 1966, and now subversion's in the air, the shape of flying bricks. Someone get a message through to Captain Snort that they better start assembling the boys from the fort and keep Mrs. Honeyman right out of sight, 'cause there's gonna be a riot down in Trumpton tonight. aristocracy has really got to stop. We can overthrow the surgery and kidnap Dr. Mop. Then chippy mint and socialists could storm the market square and make plans to assassinate our autocrat of the mayor. Militant leeches masked like corn grinders to war. With windmill sails and bombs with nails, they smashed the town hall door. But Snorty and his boys arrived with one big erstwhile crew, whereupon they bring about a military coup. Someone get a message through to Captain Snort that they better start assembling the boys from the fort and keep Mrs. Honeyman right out of sight, 'cause there's gonna be a riot down in Trumpton tonight. Oh, someone get a message through to Captain Snort that they better start assembling the boys from the fort and keep Mrs. Honeyman right out of sight. There's gonna be a riot down in Trumpton tonight.
Oh, damn you, advert. Damn you. So, half man, half bickies. Go.
It's the Clash, just with janglier guitars.
Yeah, there is a lot of Clash to them, yeah. And with better song titles, and the fact that, for context, one of the most famous characters in Trumpton was Windy Miller, and they co-opted him into Windy Militant for the purpose of this song. As I say, like they pack the songs full of very sort of punchy lyrics. They will lean into I'm going to say pop culture as with PopCulture Reacts, but I guess a certain sort of British pop culture, and they are very big into getting their message across, but getting their message across with humour alongside it.
Yeah, so definitely will listen to more of it, because I don't know if it's just because of the live recording of it, and whether he was struggling a bit lyrically there to get everything out.
Very emotional song when you're singing about Trumpton, though, isn't it?
I know. Definitely need to give it another listen and sort of look through the lyrics on it, because there's probably stuff that I missed, but what I got was very clever. As I said, it is very much like the Clash, just with a bit more janglier guitar and a little less edge on the guitar riffs. So see what you mean by it being punk. It's that sort of old school punk, just without the nastier side that the original Arco punk had.
I would say as they go on, as the career kind of goes on, I would say they never lose that, but it softens. I think musically they become more and more fun as the years go on. And I think the message, like kind of the socialist side of the messaging, and very, very good at kind of calling out the bullshit of the world that we live in at the moment throughout their musical career. But I'd say the music softens over time as well, but never loses that kind of Clash element to it.
Yeah, and you were saying on a previous episode about folk singers having localisms in their tones. You can hear the scouse in this lad.
Oh God, yeah.
It bleeds through. Yeah,
you know where he's from, don't you? And I mean, to be honest, partially, I think the message he's trying to get across, you can hear that in it. But his accent comes through. Can I do a naughty? Can I call an audible here? And can I sneak a second one in? One without a real video, one with a skanker video. But I just kind of want to jump forward a few years so you can hear him a little bit later. And as I mentioned Joy Division Oven Gloves earlier, can I sneak Joy Division Oven Gloves in as well?
Go on then.
Who doesn't want to listen to a song called Joy Division Oven Gloves? Forgive this, we're both going to be getting through some adverts right now, I imagine. So, just for the record, I am going to ping over the one that I'm getting up, Chris, so that we've at least got. Well, it doesn't really matter because I guess you're listening to the song and the video. The video is superfluous because some fool like us has knocked it up in their house. And apologies to said fool if this is an absolute banger of a video. But oh, I feel naughty. I've never done this before. But I'm not ready. I'm not ready to give up on Half Man, Half Biscuit this evening. I want more. I want more.
I'm just waiting for the link so it wants to open.
Bloody links, bloody adverts. Funny enough, when we saw this one come up, and as I say, I know I really like them, but they kind of were of a era for me where I guess they kind of spoke to me and I was in the right mood for them. And sometimes it depends when you come to a band. And I was actually quite interested to see what you thought of them, because I think probably a lot of the politics they have and a lot of the messages they have, you would really share. There's too many to name of lyrics along the way that kind of will stick with me forever. Like almost one-liners, very witty one-liners are in there, but yeah, catchy as bollocks for me as well. So. Are you ready, my dear?
I am ready to have some oven gloves from Joy Division.
Hopefully, people watching this like it as well, because this one, absolute fucking treat. And if you've never heard it before, hopefully this will change your world as much as it did I. And if not, you'll just appreciate the fact that it's called Joy Division Oven Gloves. Let's go.
Joy Division oven gloves. Every turn is there, I put my fingers in the fire. Cause I got Joy Division oven gloves. I got Joy Division oven gloves. Ooh, tropical diseases. Ooh, chemical alarm. Ooh, I'm a little blase. And me Joy Division oven gloves. And me Joy Division oven gloves. Joy Division oven gloves. I've been to a postcard fair. And me Joy Division oven gloves. Ooh, Nagasaki toe cup. Ooh, tickling the lead. Ooh, checking out the Quantocks. And me Joy Division oven gloves. And me Joy Division oven gloves.
Take back what I said about some dude like us knocking up a video. Hell of an effort by the video maker there. Absolute legend. And in fact, if anything, I'm going to see whether this guy's knocked up any more videos, because we're coming back to this guy's video making if there is. I defy you tomorrow, not at some point, to be either in the kitchen making a cup of tea or doing something without being going oven gloves, oven gloves, oven gloves, oven gloves.
China Vision, oven gloves.
Yeah. Just fantastically fun, madcap 3 minutes of your life listening to that. I love it.
Yeah, I definitely have to get more on.
Yeah,
the Biscuit Man.
And they seem to be a band that, as I say, I hadn't heard of them until I heard of them, like most musical artists, but I'd never really heard anyone talking about it. And then kind of when I started listening, I would mention them every now and again, and like 1 in 50 people you would say it to and they'd go, oh yeah, I love them. So I'd still say it's kind of quite a rarity, but like when you find people who like them, they really like them.
Yeah, I can see why they're a cult band, as I would call it, because
and I would heartily and as I say, musically, whether it's your thing or not, I think at the very least, it's great fun. And like that, I mean, that was quite like the video, quite kind of scattergun with the lyrics, but a lot of it is like that, but with more sentences behind it quite often. And a lot of the fun with them is almost, I'm going to do a bit of a reach here, but quite similar. Scratch is the same, it's quite similar as listening to hip hop does, where you're kind of listening to it over and over again to pick up the reference points and to kind of go, oh, but because they're a British band and like a kind of working class British band, a lot of the things that they reference are stuff we know, like stuff that like we experienced as a kid or we experience now. But fantastic.
yes.
And if you're going to try any of them, you especially Chris and anyone out there, I would say that a good starter album is Actung Bono. It's the one I started with, and I think it's a really good entry album for him. It's got such luminary tracks as Restless Legs, Corgi Registered Friends, Shit On, Bad Tattoo, always a favourite, and Joy Division Oven Gloves on it as well.
Yeah, that may be my work playlist for tomorrow.
Yes. and I say got you, like obviously not just me, like this started from a listener's suggestion, but I'll be honest, as much as we bring stuff off to react, I think I probably wouldn't have bought Half Man Biscuit for quite some time, so I'm really glad it's been brought to the forefront early.
So if you've liked this, fill thine spreadsheet.
If you're a big Bicky fan, subscribe. If we get more subscribers after this video, I'll force Chris to do more Half Man, Half Biscuit, although I've got a feeling he won't need forcing.
So yes, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll be back with more very soon. Goodbye.